The stuff, the taste that makes you hungry for more.
The stuff is what happens when you turn the blob white and start eating it. Directed by Larry Cohen and stars the ever-eccentric Michael Moriarty, The Stuff is one you can't miss.
The stuff.
There's very little description as to what the stuff is. Really, it's just something some guy found bubbling up in the ground. He decided to taste it. Sure, why not? And it was so good, he mass-produced the stuff.
Tasty.
So now it's the hottest new dessert product. Except nobody really knows what it is. That's okay. It tastes delicious and is low calorie. So why not?
Take a bite, let me see how much you love it!
Well, maybe the stuff isn't the miracle food it's promised to be. Because one night, Jason here's looking for a midnight snack and finds it in the fridge, alive. By the time his dad gets there, it's back to the container like nothing even happened. Elsewhere, some rich businessmen are talking about the stuff and looking to get the secret recipe. So they hire Mo Rutherford.
You know why they call me Mo?
No, why?
Because every time people give me money, I always want more.
Really, his name's David. David's an expert in blackmail, con artistry, and, just in general, he's a pretty funny guy.
Hello, this is some place you got here, fellas. This is, gosh, that's a sweaty palm. That's two sweaty palms.
He agrees to work for the businessmen and discover what the stuff really is. Apparently, David's got some money, because he has a whole lab set up with scientists taking samples. But still, there's no luck. So he decides to meet with Nicole, the lady who markets the stuff, and the one responsible for making it such a big hit. Even she doesn't know what's in it, but David kind of lies his way into her life, and now she agrees to help him out. Back over to Jason, who's at the grocery store, and he is bound and determined to get the people to stop buying the stuff, going through the whole store, destroying as much as he can. This must have been real fun. Who hasn't dreamed of running through a grocery store, destroying everything? Nope, just me? Okay. You might wonder how the stuff got past FDA regulations. Well, David does, so he meets with Vickers to answer that question. However, it's not that hard to figure out. They got paid off. David swings by a gas station and ends up meeting Chocolate Chip Charlie, aka Famous Amos. He's down on his luck and angry at the world because he lost control of his company, and now he's broke. So with nothing else to do, he joins forces with David to help take down the stuff. They talk to the local store owner, and we finally get to see the results of eating too much stuff. Pretty good special effects, really. Our heroes take off, with the town chasing after them. But honestly, they should just stay and fight. It only takes one punch to completely obliterate these guys. They make it to a diner in some other town and come up with a plan. Charlie's gonna go to Washington to try to talk to some special agent and convince him to ban the stuff, while David works his magic with Nicole, who, at this point, knows something is up and is feeling pretty guilty about marketing the stuff. So she happily joins David to discover its true secret. Meanwhile, Jason's grounded for what he did at the grocery store, and his family can't seem to get enough of the delicious dessert, almost acting possessed, making Jason take a bite, saying that he won't be a part of the family until he eats it.
There is something alive in there.
They give him some and tell him to not come downstairs until he's eaten it all. Of course, he takes it into the bathroom to dump it in the toilet. Nice Monty Crew poster. Who has a Monty Crew poster in their bathroom? Anyway, now he needs something to substitute for the stuff, so he uses shaving cream and heads downstairs to try to convince his family he's one of them now. He actually eats the shaving cream. That's gross. They get pretty sus and find out that it's not the stuff and chase after Jason, who just ran into David. You see, he heard about the supermarket incident and thought the kid might be onto something. So now they team up. David and Nicole fly to Georgia, basically kidnapping Jason in the process. I mean, he wanted to go with them, but still, you kidnap someone. Anyway, they fly to Georgia where the stuff is distributed to get a tour of the plant, using Nicole's good graces, seeing how she advertised the stuff. All while Jason sneaks out and hides in a tanker truck. I'm not really sure how he thought that would help, but here we are. David and Nicole go to a hotel where the stuff comes out of the pillows and starts attacking. Nicole lights David's face on fire. A bit harsh, but it works and he's okay. One of the locals attacks, but the stuff doesn't discriminate and it attacks him. In a pretty neat sideways wall special effect.
That's meant for us.
Well, our heroes get out of there and back to the factory, where David sneaks in and steals one of the trucks. And just guess which truck he took. Yeah, the one with Jason inside. Well, that's convenient. He thinks that if he can steal a fresh batch of the stuff, he can prove to the world that what they're eating is killing them. He takes off, blowing up some explosions he set up earlier in an attempt to ruin the fresh stuff. But we all know that's only a minor setback. Clean out the rock and it's good as new. David manages to get Jason out before he's attacked and they all can regroup. It's here where we get a minute to catch our breath and finally come up with a name for the people affected by the stuff. Stuffies. So there's that.
They're all stuffies.
David knows that they're going to need some help, and there's only one person in the world who can give it to him, Colonel Spears. You see, a while ago, David was hired by someone to tail Spears and get all of his dirty laundry. Not literally, he was hired to dig up dirt on him, and David uses that dirt to blackmail him into helping him. But once he sees the factory and the state of things, Spears and his men know exactly what they gotta do. After destroying the source, they now have to get the people to stop eating the stuff. But how? Well, Spears owns some radio stations in Atlanta, so the plan is to broadcast a PSA to everyone to try to get them to stop eating the stuff. Like, that would work. If someone said, "Stop eating ice cream, it's bad for you," do you think anyone would listen? Anyway, they make it to the station and meet up with our old pal Charlie, who didn't end up getting much help in DC. He agrees to read the PSA, and as they walk to the recording booth, Charlie talks about how people look once the stuff decides to come out of them. You want to know how he knows? Because it's happening to him right now. This is probably the best effect in the whole movie. Any movie, really. It's great. But now, there's stuff in the booth with Nicole. After taking it out with electricity, Spears and Nicole give the PSA warning everyone about the stuff and not to eat it. And you know what? It works. That's how you know this movie's a work of fiction. In the end, thousands of people died, but millions of lives were saved, all thanks to our heroes. But you can't stop the greedy, and David knows that. So he meets up with the distributors who have already started on a substitute.
The taste.
Well, that won't do. So David and Jason make them get high on their own supply, if you will, forcing them to eat the stuff at gunpoint.
Eat it.
But in the end, you can't stop a good thing, and now the stuff is being sold illegally on the streets. And that was The Stuff. Some people have claimed that there's this underlying theme that human beings are blindly stuffing our faces with products that are untested and full of so many chemicals and ingredients that we can't even pronounce. I didn't really get that here. I think it's just a silly monster movie. In fact, You know what? It's kind of made me hungry for some vanilla ice cream. I wish they made this stuff. I'd eat it, even knowing what's in it would kill me. All bits aside, the stuff is a fun ride. The effects are top-notch, practical all the way. The icing on the cake is Michael Moriarty. You can tell the dude had a blast filming this. He's so odd, I guess is the best word to describe it. The stuff is an 80s gem that's worth a watch. I give it 3 stuffs out of 4.
I kind of just threw up in your car.
I know.
I'm sorry. I mean,
That's all
I just
right.
ate shaving cream.
Well, everybody has to eat shaving cream once in a while.